Hey Abigail, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm alright. So what's been going on since I saw you last?
I don't know. I'm just like really annoyed because I feel like I'm working really hard at my job. I'm just not getting anywhere, and I just feel like I deserve a lot more there.
Okay. So I'm wondering, this scenario sounds like maybe it could apply to the DEAR.MAN skills that we learned last week.
Yeah, probably.
Have you thought any about that?
Honestly, I haven't. I've just been really frustrated with it.
Okay. So I'm wondering if we can kind of take that frustration and talk through it. We talked about these interpersonal skills, and I'm wondering if we can try to talk through it and use those skills in session today.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
How do you feel about maybe doing a little bit of a role play? I know
Sounds really
you've
good.
mentioned before that your boss maybe isn't the nicest guy.
No, he's a jerk.
Okay. So how about I pretend to be the boss,
Okay,
and you can be you,
okay,
and we'll kind of go through the letters and we'll go through the skills.
okay.
Sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay, so tell me what you remember about the D in DEAR.MAN. Do you remember what that is?
Yeah. So D is for describe. So describe like the moment or what's going on.
Exactly.
Right?
Describe the situation. And remember, don't make any judgments.
Okay.
This is just the facts.
Okay.
Okay?
Facts about my job.
Exactly.
Okay.
So how would you say kind of what you said to me, but in a way that's just describing it?
Okay. So I've been working at my job as a chiropractor for 2 years, and I've been getting all positive reviews, positive ratings, lots of compliments, but I haven't been getting a raise for any of the work I've been doing.
Good. That was really good. Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect. Okay, so that was describe. You did that
Okay.
really, really well. Now, how about the E? Do you remember what the E is?
I think it's express like what I want.
Yeah, express clearly.
Express clear. Okay.
Exactly. So how would you kind of express that clearly?
I want a raise. Would that be kind of clear?
Good.
Okay.
I want, maybe that's a little bit kind of demanding. Is there another word you could use maybe?
I would like a raise for the work I've done.
Good.
Okay.
Good. In other words, I deserve a raise.
Okay.
So both of those would work.
Okay.
Does that
So
make
you're saying,
sense?
like deserve instead of want.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good.
That sounds good.
So you're expressing it clearly. Good job. Now what about A?
I could say I would like the raise. Could you give it to me?
Good. Good. So
Okay.
you're kind of saying what you want or what you would like.
Like
And
asserting
then-
that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Asserting clearly. So assert your wishes. And then you're saying, can you? So you're kind of asking a question
Okay.
to the boss. So can you give that to me?
Okay.
Good. You did that really, really well.
Thanks.
So let's see. What about the R? Do you remember R?
Reinforce.
Good. So you want to reinforce the other person. So identify something positive or rewarding that would happen if the other person gives the response that you want. So what might you say for this?
Okay. I could say that, I would probably be a lot happier and probably more productive if I get a salary that reflects my value to this business.
Exactly. Exactly. It seems like you've practiced these skills.
No, I'm just so good on the fly.
You really are. I'm very impressed. So, good. Reinforce, kind of saying, you would be happier and more productive at the job, even though you're already, it sounds like, productive.
Okay.
But if you had that salary raise, this is what might happen.
Yeah.
So reinforce that.
Okay.
Good job. So that's kind of the first piece, and then we kind of talked about the man piece. So I'm wondering if you remember anything about that part.
I think maybe the first letter M was for mindful, like be mindful or stay mindful.
Exactly, stay mindful. And so we talked about kind of a couple different ways you can do this, but do you remember the one that we practiced?
Oh, yeah, like ignoring like any attacks or anything my boss tries to distract me with.
Right.
Okay.
So it sounds like your boss has kind of attacked you in the past and called you lazy and things like that. So how would you maybe react to that situation differently using this skill?
Okay. Well, I could just like remember like what's my purpose of being there, keep on point, and just kind of ignore any attacks or anything he tries to use to distract me from it. So just basically ignore what he's saying and remember to stay on task. Is that kind of
Good.
right?
Exactly. Yep. So If the other person attacks you or threatens you, which it kind of sounds like he does that regularly, unfortunately, but try to ignore that and kind of keep focus on kind of what you're asking, what you're talking to him about. So kind of don't let his attacks be a distraction for you.
Okay.
Stay in the moment. We talked about mindfulness before,
Yeah.
and that's kind of being in that present moment.
Yeah.
So
So that was the other part to this, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what about the A in man? Do you remember what the A stood for?
Appear confident, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I know you've told me in the past that you kind of just kind of give up when he starts acting the way he acts. And it seems like you don't really want to stand up to him, and you don't really want to be kind of assertive.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like maybe appearing confident on the exterior might help. So what might you do that would make you kind of appear confident?
Probably like just, having like putting my shoulders back, having like a good posture, and making sure I make eye contact, and just like say my words very clearly.
Yeah, those are all really good. And I think maybe tone of voice
Okay.
too. So, you don't want to be too loud so it sounds like an argument, but you don't want to be too timid and have it be too soft.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of finding that happy medium of tone of voice.
Okay.
Where he knows kind of you mean business, you're serious, you're confident about, wanting a raise.
Yeah, but not here to like start an argument, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So how about the last one? The last letter, the N.
Negotiate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know this one was kind of hard for you when we learned about this before.
Yeah. I always like want to back down.
Exactly. But how might you negotiate if I were your mean boss? How might you negotiate on this salary issue?
Well, I guess I could say, like, I could basically point out that, like, yeah, I want this raise, but maybe it seems like you don't want to give it to me. Let's talk about some other things or maybe other solutions that would help us get to a compromise.
Exactly. I'm so glad you used that word.
Okay.
Exactly. So you want to try to find that happy medium for both of you. So we have the happy medium with the tone of voice and the appearing confident, but there's also a happy medium here.
Mm-hmm.
You want one thing, you're on one side, he's on the other, but you want to try to meet each other in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that way we probably would have a better work relationship after and not one of us just being mad at the other person.
Exactly. And I'm wondering if you kind of open that up to say, can we compromise? If that might be something different than what he's used to. That might start a conversation where he's willing to negotiate. Because you're not simply saying, I need a raise, I want a raise. You're saying, well, how could we maybe go about this differently? And it seems like that might be a little bit different than the interactions you've had before.
Yeah, normally I just always back down, and he just always kind of gets his way, and doesn't really consider my side.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like now that we've talked through this a little bit, that you're thinking a little bit differently about your interactions with your boss.
Yeah, I am. I guess I'm considering more about maybe what he's going through, what he's feeling, and then I myself feel a little less frustrated.
Yeah.
Considering our relationship as boss and like co-worker or colleague, I guess.
Okay. So moving forward, how confident are you that you might be able to use some of these skills in your daily interactions with him?
I feel more confident than I did before. Like I might struggle initially, but I think remembering that appear confident piece, like the man part, would probably just help me kind of get through that and remember to stay mindful through the process.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, I think you did a really good job today. I'm hoping you can take this skill and practice this kind of throughout the days and the weeks, and hopefully you'll just get better and better at it.
Okay. And should I make sure to track this on my diary card?
Yes, definitely. Make sure that anytime you practice this, that you write down that you practiced it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you next week.